Welcome back to the Horse Talk Show. We have a special guest back with us, and that is Tricia Sybersma. We have been doing a series covering HeartWorks, and we are going to talk a little bit this time about why horses are showing up now as catalysts for global heartwarming and nervous system regulation. And we know how important that is. Tricia, you've called horses modern-day medicine horses. We're going to talk a little bit about what that means and how they actually support the human nervous system.
In a few different layers, actually. So I would like to begin, though, with one of their first messages to me, which is very beautiful. And what they shared with me is, you look at us horses in wonder and awe, but we are just horses. Look in the mirror. You are human, and we have come through at this time in this way as a catalyst to invite you to open your hearts and see each other with the same wonder and awe with which you see us. Our energy expressions are here to help and support your heart opening in love and gratitude. The Heartists.
And if you're joining us on television, not just audio version on radio or podcast, you can see Summer is also joining us, the miniature horse, and Summer is adorable. Thank you for being with us, Summer. So let's start with, how do horses help?
Their biology, for starters, they're actually wired to help us. So their hearts emit an electromagnetic energy 5 feet from their body in all directions, where a human heart only emits 3 feet. And so just standing here with Summer, I am being embraced with her electromagnetic heart energy, just physically, because of her biology of being a horse. And now you layer that in with them being prey animals and being guardians of their energy and preferring to be in a coherent state, which is the alignment between your heart and your brain, which then regulates your nervous system, hormonal system, and all the other systems, your fight, flight, freeze systems. When you're in a coherent state, you have full access to all the critical thinking parts of your brain, plus your intuition, your creative centers, and open to all your sensory information. Everything is amplified when you're in a coherent state. So what better way for a prey animal to not only be very careful about their energy expenditures, but to be able to scan their environments for any changes and disruption that are not coherent. So when they enter into a space or engage with another being, coherence is key, and they will do their best to invite that other person or other horse into that coherent state. And now, why would another horse not be in a coherent state? If that horse has had trauma or is or is in any stressful state at all,
Which Summer is not.
then that horse is situationally not in a coherent state. Maybe it's moved barns. Maybe it's at a show. Maybe it's just changing pastures. Change is another important factor for horses in how they regulate their nervous system in their coherent state. And so by a person who's dysregulated or a horse that's dysregulated entering into the presence of a horse that is regulated, they will automatically be invited into that coherent, regulated state. We all know, when we meet even people who are dysregulated, situationally dysregulated, we ask them how they're doing. We can feel their disruption, but we don't necessarily have the wiring to amplify the invitation into a coherent state the way the horses do. Yeah, so the horses really invite us in and almost like suck us into that state, because then it not only benefits us, it benefits them.
I've always felt that way around horses. I love that feeling. One of my favorite feelings. So we see a lot of equine therapy We see a lot of success with equine therapy programs, reading with horses, therapeutic riding. I love to see what horses can do to really help people succeed, especially people who have disabilities or veterans, people who've been through so much. But I am a huge fan of traditional equine therapy. Tell us a little bit how HeartWorks differs from that type of therapy.
Equine therapy often revolves around structure, motor skills, balance, and the diagonal workings between our brain function and our physical function. HeartWorks adds the coherent layer in an intentional way. So whereas we aren't simulating movement, we are stepping into the practice of being aware of where our emotions and feelings are, and then being open to come into the present moment, then be open to experience coherence and self-regulation. And there is a HeartMath layer to that, which I do use with the horses. I love to work with people and horses because what the quick coherence technique does is acknowledges how, I'll use my example, how am I feeling right now in this moment with this horse? And maybe I'm feeling a little worried or a little distracted. And then I ask myself, what do I want to feel? I would really love to feel openness and gratitude and some calmness. So with quick coherence technique, I activate those feelings in my heart. And then our brain and body has to follow that. That is physics. So through the process of us deciding how we're going to feel, which is our human superpower, in any moment with eyes open, while maybe we have a dysregulated horse on the end of our lead rope, I'm going to choose grounded, and I'm going to activate that feeling of being grounded in myself, in my heart, and then my systems have to follow. And immediately, I'm going to be sending a different message to that horse or that person. And it's not a tangible shift, but it's a felt shift.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
after all, horses are feeling
That's
beings.
right.
And so the felt shifts are the ones they pay attention to. And that's why we can't fool a horse. We can't fool a horse into thinking we're confident if we really have another emotion going on, maybe a bit of fear, maybe a bit of remembering a situation where things didn't go well. That is, we're better off going up to our little horse and say, Summer, I had a rough day. Instead of coming in all confident and smiley, because she's going to see right through that. And then her predator instincts, or her prey animal instincts for predators, is going to kick in because I am not being authentic, which doesn't match what she's sensing of how I'm feeling.
We are going to wrap up this first part of Modern Day Medicine with horses with Tricia from HeartWorks, but make sure you stay tuned for next week for the second half.